How should you build the hidden potential for AGL, Tag, Nappa, and Vegeta? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We are looking at the AGL, Inconceivable Saiyan Power, Nappa and Vegeta, and giving you guys their best hidden potential build. Starting with the leader skill, we have Saiyan Saga and Accelerated Battle, Key 3, HP 200%, and Attack and Defense 170% with an additional 50 for Giant 8 Power, Mission Execution, and Final Trump card. The Vegeta side, his super attack will raise attack for 4 turns, greatly raise defense for 1 turn, and cause immense damage to the enemy. Okay. Basic effects include attack and defense 250%, receives an additional key 1 per AGL key sphere obtained, chance to perform a critical hit 40%, and damage reduction rate 40%, as well as buffing Saiyan Saga and Giant 8 Power for 40% attack and defense. With 1 AGL key sphere obtained or 1 or more rainbow key sphere obtained, he buffs Saiyan Saga and Giant 8 Power for an additional 20, so 60% buff there. When attacking, he gets 150% attack defense, once only an additional 20% damage reduction, and attack defense 100% launches an additional attack with a 70% chance of becoming super attack, and attacks guaranteed to hit when facing only 1 enemy. After performing 2 or more super attacks in battle, he launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack, and chance of performing a critical hit 20%. After performing 6 or more attacks in battle, launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack, and chance of performing a critical hit 20%. Well, all of these are permanent buffs. For every attack performed, he gets attack 150% and damage reduction rate 7% within the turn. So his attacks, right, once you start getting these 4 or 5 attacks in a turn, they jump. Right, 150% is a huge jump that each super is going to get, especially with the raise for 4 turns that he's getting. When facing 2 enemies or from the 3rd turn on, he can tag with Nappa. Vegeta's active skill will raise his attack 1700% temporarily, cause ultimate damage to the enemy, and seal super attack for 1 turn. It'll also change Fizz key spheres to rainbow and buff Saiyan Saga allies 20% and an additional 20% for extreme allies, so 40% for himself, essentially. Now, the Nappa side of the card is more of an all-out assault tank. He has a target skill, right, which can be activated facing 2 or more enemies, or when there's a Saiyan ally attacking in the same turn, it will guard his attacks and direct all enemies' attacks towards him. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because of what his passive is doing, right? He is getting 780% attack and defense, 50% chance of additional attack, 150% defense, and 50% damage reduction rate. Now, once only, he will have an additional 30% damage reduction, which is essentially 80% damage reduction. Right? He also gets defense 50% and 20% damage reduction rate when facing 2 or more enemies, or 70% or less. So if you can maintain 70% or less, or you're fighting 2 enemies, you will kind of always have 70 to 80% or 100% damage reduction. Now, after receiving 5 attacks, he gets Saiyan Saga allies 5%. Attack and 10% attack for those who are extreme. Another 5 and 10%, so 15% after 10 attacks. And for every attack received, he gets up to 780% attack, as well as increasing his critical hit within the turn. Right, so you really want to push this target on a turn where he has a lot of attacks incoming to really make use of him. He can deal a lot of damage on this target turn, so it's very important that you play around that. So you'll notice there's a lot of things happening in their hidden potential here, right? A lot of good things too, right? So seeing as they are an AGL type, we know that they will naturally lean into additional attack, giving them an extra 50% chance to do an additional attack. So since they would naturally have 40% if you invest all nodes, right? If you invest any of your skill orbs, you can get this up to 60% for an additional attack. So that's really nice. So with that in mind, we really want to build around a build I've come up with here, focusing on those additional attacks. Not that he gains anything past the 4 turns, but he doesn't need crits, and the Nappa side needs to get hit, so you don't want to have too much dodge on him. The little bit of dodge is just for that extra protection on those Vegeta turns where things might get a little dicey, right? Unless you can safely tag in the Nappa, Vegeta can be a bit rough defensively. Vegeta benefits a lot defensively from skill orbs and from defensive support, since there isn't a whole lot happening within his passive itself. So he can benefit a lot from that. However, most players may not have them fully duped out. So 55% is going to be a little rough in that regard. So to make the most out of what they're doing, you do want to go for the additionals because, right, especially at 55%, you don't want your Nappa dodging things. Not that you can get a whole lot extra there. So this is my recommended build. So full investment on additionals with sub dodge. I don't really recommend going crit. Both Vegeta and Nappa have plenty of crit within their kit. Vegeta having over 60%, Nappa can basically get 100% crit depending on how many attacks you get, right? So when they literally you get 10 attacks and he's got guaranteed crit. He doesn't need crit. As far as the skill orbs goes, right, he does have these guaranteed orbs that I do recommend giving him unless you have some god equips. If you do have god equips, I do recommend investing in full defensive. And it's nice that his guaranteed orbs that you can get by completing seriously serious battles are in fact defensive equips. I do recommend defensive equips over all else on them. If you really want to push the Nappa, you can invest in some offensive equips, but I do think defense will benefit them greater than anything else. It is really about maximizing the Nappa. That's essentially what this is. Unfortunately, this is one of those tag units where the tag is not beneficial on both sides, right? Both sides are working together, but reality is you really are playing towards that Nappa turn more than anything than, having a choice between one or the two, depending on the situation. But that could change if we get more fights with multiple enemies. We'll see. That could definitely very much change if that happens over time. But for now, this is the recommended build that will get you the most out of the current content. So, guys, that is it for our video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, how would you build the Nappa and Vegeta? Again, my best recommendation for this build is full additionals. It will benefit you more to have both Nappa and Vegeta getting an extra super, even if it isn't greatly raising. It's extra damage, right? Even if, right, you max out both of them at their 4 turns, it's still extra damage, which on the Nappa side of things really benefits. And again, remember, Vegeta does get 150% when he procs an additional super. So, right, that final hidden potential proc, that 5th attack, is going to be incredibly powerful if he procs it. So you do want to make sure that if that's the way you're going, you fully invest into that. So, guys, that's it for the video. If nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.